Collin, can you comment a little on your season up to this point?
Yeah, obviously the fall, I don't want to forget about it, but I learned a lot. I got to be ready for this year, and with such a big season, so many events, no one's letting their foot off the pedal. They want to keep playing well. They want to keep winning tournaments, and having a little off season, getting ready for Hawaii, kind of got me refreshed, got me ready, and I think that shows. The first two events of the season, I came off on a good start. Wasn't great, but definitely better than where I started off in the fall. So I look forward to finally playing back here in LA, and so far the course looks amazing. So it'll be a good test for the week.
You finished T26 here last year. Can you talk a little bit about how this golf course suits your style of play?
Yeah, growing up out here in Poa annua, growing up here in Kikuyu grass, I'm comfortable with it. I'm not making adjustments. I know what it's going to be like putting for in the afternoon when you're on a Friday afternoon, come 4 or 5 o'clock. So I'm comfortable out here with the way the course is set up. Looking at it so far the past couple of days, it's firm. The rough's not necessarily up, but the greens are getting bouncy. They're getting some rollout, so it'll be a good test. You got to make sure you hit your irons in the right spots and leave yourself in the wrong spots or in the right spots when you miss your shots.
This is the beginning of a pretty hectic stretch in the schedule with these 4 next events and then match play and the Masters. How do you go about? Do you have like a maximum tournaments that you're going to play, or do you won't play X in a row? And then how do you go about sort of managing your energy levels in the stretch?
Yeah, I think 3 is kind of around the max. Sometimes you have to put 4, and can't change the schedule. It's just the way things go sometimes. But how do you manage that? I think it's just being really smart about how you go through Monday through Wednesdays. I'm not out there from sunrise to sunset, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just grinding. It might be okay for 1 week. The 3rd week, it's not going to be okay. And, I've learned that about myself. I've been able to be efficient with how much time I spend out there, how much rest I'm getting. It's just huge, being able to rest. We take sleep for granted, but it is really important for what we do.
What about you first? I'm just kind of curious, once you won the PGA, how things changed for you. I mean, I'm sure there were probably more obligations and whatnot, but just kind of with your expectations, and you referenced the fall not being what you wanted it to be. What effect did that have on that, maybe with your expectations?
Yeah, I think it was just more my standards. My standards obviously went up, and that's going to happen, I think, with anyone. But I just thought it was going to come too easy, and I thought on the off days things were going to be slightly better than what they actually were. And that doesn't mean I was getting lazy practicing or getting lazy prepping for the event. But I think just thinking through shots the way I was thinking through them, it just wasn't as clear. I wasn't getting as creative with my shots. I wasn't thinking through, the way I was at the PGA, for example, or at workday, whatever, when I've played well. And, it's a learning experience. It was a few months of just not great play, but I learned a lot from it. I know what to fix. I know how to not get in that spot again. So, having such a great team around me, my coach, especially Rick, he's going to call me out. If we're not trying to get through 2 events, 3 events, 4 events, and then figure something out. I'm trying to figure it out after 1 event if something goes wrong, if something's not, mentally right, and get on pace to finally pick it back up and figure it out.
I'm curious your strategy for the 10th hole this week. What determines whether you lay up or go for it? And then do you look at these breakdowns of like, guys who go for it have this scoring average, or this is the scoring average if you lay it up, or is it more of kind of a feel thing for you?
Most likely I'll be hitting driver every single day, or whatever gets me to that front edge kind of just rolls over. I keep looking at the wedge shot, and I keep saying, yes, we can hit a 70-yard wedge shot, we can hit a 100-yard wedge shot, but when you look at the green and how narrow and shallow it is, it just doesn't make sense in my head. Like, especially how firm the greens are. That first bounce is going to bounce so far, so you're working with 2 yards, 3 yards, and when you're on, you're going to hit that shot. But when you're off a little bit, or there's wind and it's cold or whatever, that can cost you being in the short bunker. That costs you being over. So, you hit driver, you hit it down there. Most likely you'll hopefully have a chip shot. If you don't have it at the pin, you'll have a chip shot at the middle of the green, 2 putt. If I'm even par, I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be just okay with even par because, you know, I'm not losing. I don't think I'm really losing any shots to the field if I'm even par through 4 rounds on that hole.